Hello.
Hello.
What are you making tonight?
Just as well you asked. Thai inspired roast monkfish.
Sounds good.
Anyway, first thing you will need to do is get your ingredients prepped. So you need to make a paste. It's not the first thing you need to do. So I've got lemongrass, coriander, got red onion, but you would use shallot or white onion. I've got some peeled garlic and some red chilli, which I will show you later how to take the seeds out if you don't know what they're doing. And I've got ginger, but you'd probably use galangal, which is a bit of ginger, and a couple of limes. You need monkfish, and then you'll need some vegetables of some sort. First things first, I'm going to show you how to prep monkfish. So, I've kind of done one already. You need a sharp knife for this. So monkfish, as you can see, has got a membrane on it. So you come in. So monkfish has got quite a couple of skins. So this has been skinned, but just not properly. So you need a nice sharp knife, and you want to get underneath that skin and trim it off as such. You can eat it if you like, it's just a bit less pleasant than if you don't. As you can see, I'm able to get underneath the skin without damaging the flesh. So you want to do this for the whole monkfish, and then once I've done that, I'll come back and show you. You want to get as much of it off as you can. Don't have to be too strict with it. It's fairly sturdy, this layer of skin. So once you've done that, make sure you've got it off. Yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to cut down the spine. I'm not going to bone this fish, because that would be unethical. A bit rude for YouTube. Is I'm going to cut down beside the bone. I'm going to go halfway down through the spine. I'm not actually filleting it yet. I'm going to cook it on the bone. It's going to be roasted on the bone. But this will allow us to get some more of that spices, or some more of the paste of the fish. So that'll help. So do that with both your fish. Get tidied up. Get happy for it. Once your fish is done, you're going to stick your oven up pretty high. So I've got mine at 240. If you're a fan of it, maybe 220. I'm going to use this tray to cook them in. So I'm just going to put the fish there. So next thing you need to do is make a paste. You've got a food processor, bowl, even better. We don't, we're just going to stick blender, so something you can put your paste into. So got the zest of 2 limes, grate that, retrieve it from the side of the cooker. Your lime zest goes into your receptacle, and you want the juice of both of them into there. Again, you don't need to see that lime juicer. So you want 2 red chilies. You want to check how hot they are. I already have. If you like them spicy, you can leave the seeds in. I'm not going to, because I've had a bit of a sensitive stomach of late. So remove the seeds, cut in half lengthways. And you want to remove the white pith as well, because that's where most of the capsaicin, which is the hot stuff in the chilies, comes from. So roughly chop them, because they're getting blitzed anyway. If you had a food processor bowl, you wouldn't even need to chop them at all. So simple as that. Now, the garlic I've peeled, but you want to remove the green stem from the middle. So garlics always tend to be slightly triangular in shape, so I'll say that. Not drop them on the floor, preferably.
Why don't you want the beanstalk?
It's harder to digest, depending on the time of year as well. It can be really bitter and it can be more prominent. So in the case of these, you can see there's not much of green stalk in them. You want to check and just break them up into your receptacle. Right, so I've got a small bunch of coriander here. I'm going to keep the leaves, put them in this dish. I'm going to add the stalks to my paste, because the stalks are full of flavour. I'm using these for another time. A bit of ginger. Just going to slice it up just so it's a bit easier to blitz. And I'm going to use half of one of the onions. Then I'm going to give it a little dice. Perfect. And then some lemongrass. Now, you might need to peel the lemongrass because it is a grass just like cane. Get the hard stem off. Might want to get a couple of the layers. So it's just like peeling any sort of layered vegetable like an onion. The stems are too woody. There we go. Just slide off like that. So you cut it into inch or so pieces. Although not strictly Thai, I'm going to put in about a teaspoon of tamarind concentrate. That'll just give it a bit of a sweet and sour taste. And I'm going to add two dessert spoons of fish sauce, maybe actually 3. Because this stuff, it stinks, but it does make a lovely flavour. And just to give it a bit more sweetness, probably use cane sugar, but palm sugar, sorry. I'm going to put in a small amount of soft brown sugar. That'll give it a slightly caramelised characteristic. And basically get all that together and give it a blitz. So once I've done that, I should come back. Right, so once you've done that, you get enough paste, a smoothish kind of paste. Now, I'm going to keep half of this aside. That's going to be the basis for our sauce. Now, this stuff here is basically coconut milk. It's just powdered. So I want to make quite a thick paste so that I can coat the monkfish with. It's good stuff. It's got all the sort of measuring guides on the side, and it depends. If you want coconut cream, you just need a bit more. If you want coconut milk, as you can see, I'm not really weighing this out at all because the bucket's open. So it's really good stuff. So give that a stir in. I'm looking for the consistency of those curry pastes that you get. Like a really wet pastry, like sheet pastry almost. That will do. Right. We'll give this a little taste. Right, so check it for seasoning. Then you want to season your fish, both sides. Not too much, and then you just want to apply this fairly liberally onto your fish until you've used it all, and get it down that crevice that you've created, that fishy flaps. Maybe we should refer to it as that. So, careful though, because monkfish do have quite sharp spines along the spine, so just be careful. I just discovered this the hard way, and I just put my finger there. But yeah. Now you could do this in advance, you could have this in the fridge for a couple of hours, flavouring it. I did that for a couple of hours because I was away today. Yeah, just massage it in. Stick that in a hot oven. And it should be about 25 to 30 minutes because it's on the bone. So I'm going to get myself tidied up, get a pan out for making the sauce. I've got my veggies sitting on top of the bin, which is classic, iced out. Going to get a wok, bring the wood, and yeah, I'm going to tidy up and get my shit together.
What are you drinking?
Jammy Red Roux. Very nice. Who's got a crinkly bottom?
Edmonds.
Oh, no Edmonds, right. Right, so once your fish has been in the oven for about 5-10 minutes, you want to start your sauce. You can cook this quickly or slowly, however you want. You need a tin or two of coconut milk. I've made up the coconut milk with that powder. So we've got your onion, with some spring onions, I've got tender stem broccoli, I've got pak choy, and I've got some green beans. So you just want to trim your spring onions. I've already washed these. And just cut them into 2-inch pieces. About 2 inches. 4-inch pieces. Green beans. So normally when you buy green beans, I'm determined to drop everything on the floor this evening. And again, you normally get them all with their tops at the same time, at the same end. So you want to dump them on your chalkboard, trim the stock ends off, give them a good wash of cold water. If you wanted to, you could leave them whole. I don't want to, so cut them in half. You could also trim the tips off them if you wanted. Same with that. And then your broccoli, if you want, you can peel it. This was a new thing I discovered today. Chef Pierre Kaufman, he's one of the top chefs in the world. He peels his broccoli, but I don't think you need butter with tender stem, but hopefully it makes a difference with a little bit of butter. So if you buy tender stem like that, just thumb it in like that, and then the pak choy, give it a good wash. I love pak choy because it's a nice crunchy veg. So, nice thin sliver of the base. The sections. And we're actually going to start doing some cooking. So, dice my onion because that's what I want to do, but you can do whatever you like with it. For those that don't know how to dice an onion, you keep the stalk in, and you see the lines in an onion, so you keep your fingers out of the way, use the tip of the knife, don't go all the way through. You can go through like this, and bother on, and then sliding through. I'm being very rough and very slapdash with this because I'm not really caring. So I've got the pan on a relatively high heat. Now if this was authentic Thai cooking, I'd probably use coconut oil, which I do have. I've got this lovely big drum of olive oil, so I'm not going to use it. You don't need too much. First, put the onion in. And again, like on most of my videos, in order to help stop onions burning, you add salt. Why do we add salt, Kate?
So it doesn't burn.
Yeah, but
It draws out the moisture.
yes. So, give them a good spin around. Stick a lid on. Give them 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to add the paste. Well, what I had left with the stuff that had the coconut in it, I've just added because it's going to be coconut milk in there. So, yeah, just a case of adding things gradually at the length of time you need them to cook. Oh, damn it, to break something tonight. So, I'm going to turn it down to 4 and add my paste. And you want to cook this out because the onions or shallots or whatever you would have it here, you tend to taste a little bit bitter. So you want to cook that until you get all the moisture out of it. So you leave it uncovered. Now this isn't a proper curry colour because I used a red onion. I used normal white shallot or whatever. It would be red in colour, or I would use more red chilies. If you want it to be redder but you're worried about it being too spicy, you could just use a normal red bell pepper. You can smell that the sauce. Smells good. Right, so things that are going to take the longest to cook are the green beans. So they go in first. Give them a good stir around. And then we're going to add my coconut milk. And hopefully this is going to thicken. If not, I'm going to have to cook it a bit longer. You just let that simmer, get a bit thicker. Next thing you'll add is your pak choy stock and broccoli, and your green bean tips, and your pak choy tips. That's as simple as that. Right, so after 25 minutes your monkfish should be cooked. turn the oven off. Take it out. Remember when you open an oven door, always let the steam get out. You'll end up with a face like Simon Weston. Right, as you can see, fish is cooked. There's some juices to come out of it. So, and I've turned the heat back up on this to full. Oh. So I'm going to add the juices. Of course, you don't need monkfish on the bone for this. Let's put the fish to one side. You don't need monkfish on the bone for this. It's just whenever you cook anything on the bone, you do get a bit more flavour from it, and it helps to retain the moisture. So this is just going to be a few more minutes. It's just going to reduce and get thicker. I think I'm going to add my rock by now. My green beans. You could add any vegetable you want, really. I'd maybe give neeps a miss.
Really?
Curried meat. Curried meat works. We've had curried meat with coconut before, haven't we? So yeah, want to reduce this down until you get a nice thick sauce. I'm actually going to add the stalks of this at the end because I want a contrasting crunch. So while you're waiting, you could give your coriander a chop, nice and rough. Look out your bowls. I'm going to have some rice noodles with this, but I'm actually going to stir them through. Look out your bowls, put them in the oven to warm up. Lovely good. Right. So when the sauce is slightly thicker, and I mean it's still thin, yeah, it's a sauce. You know, it's almost soupy. Just going to add all this green right. I'm going to add my coriander as well now. So I'll tidy up my board, and I'll show you what to do next with the fish. Right, I've added my rice noodles, which I pre-bought the cooked ones. Use other ones by all means. I'm just going to stir in, heat right down, and just put the lid on if you want. They'll help to absorb some of that sauce. The next thing you need to do is sort out your fish. So I'm going to get my bowls out of the oven, which are nicely warm. As you can see, just peel that fish away from the bone. So we're just going to have one fish between the two of us tonight. So there's quite a lot in there. So time to dish this up, I suppose. I have checked all this for seasoning. I've used very little sauce, salt even. Maybe I shouldn't have used a whole spoon though. I'll have to pardon me, I'm feeling a bit run down at the moment. I don't think it's the Rona thing.
Run down?
Run down, see I can't even say run down. I don't think I've got coronavirus, hope not. Pretty sure if I did. So we spent the day kissing pensioners and then old folks home. They'll probably die of it. And of course, if you're one of these people that's not normal and you don't eat meat, then by all means you could have this as it is. Would you? I'm not saying that humans eat meat, but yeah, look at our teeth. But joking aside, you could absolutely do this the vegetarian way. I don't know if you get vegetarian fish sauce. Or if you get a vegetarian alternative to fish sauce. There you go. If it was a poxy arsehole, I could have used a bit of green shit to garnish that, but yeah, there we go. Roasted monkfish Thai style. Happy crappy cooking.